Viewer discretion is expressed for the following program. If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution while viewing this program, because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children, and not for coworkers either.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm JJW. This is, nope, it's not aliens. That's Deacon. That's Deacon. We are your two dads, and we meet here every morning. We talk about the news and politics and culture and pop culture and funny stuff and aliens, werewolves, AI. That's our favorite stuff.
That's our favorite stuff. Actually, that seems like our favorite stuff.
I mean, I don't know. Like right now it is. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, Deacon. Deacon, how are you?
Excellent. Well,
Good day yesterday?
So far so good. Or yes,
Okay.
yesterday. Yeah, well, yesterday wasn't bad.
We had some interesting news happen yesterday.
Oh yeah, you did?
I mean, not me, like, we, like all over. So we have plenty to talk about today. And
the heat dome. Are you guys still like? Is it 300 degrees in Texas still?
It was only like 105 when I got in my car yesterday.
Oh, only 105. Is that the air temperature or the heat index?
Yeah. I'm not sure how that works. It's just my car. I get in my car and my car says 105, and I'm like,
that's the air temperature. Your car's not reading the heat index. You probably don't have. Oh,
yeah.
You have to ask what heat index is. I forget you're in Texas. You don't have a heat index.
This is hot. We have AC.
So
until
in Kentucky,
until the Biden administration tries to turn off everybody's AC.
That's true. That's true. They run on gas, or they run. Yeah, we gotta shut them off.
Switch them off.
Here in Kentucky, we live in a jungle. And in Texas, I forget you don't live in a jungle. You live in the start of a desert. So we have what's called a heat index. So you have air temperature that'll be 105. We have air temperature that will be like, today it's supposed to get up to 96 or 97. But because of the humidity in the air, and our humidity is not that bad today, and it wasn't that bad yesterday. It was actually comfortable to sit outside last night. But normally if the heat index is, or the humidity is like 70, 80%, which is normal, that's not unusual. It's flipping miserable outside.
Yeah.
Miserable.
Humidity makes things awful.
Humidity and the heat index makes it rise to about 107, 108. So that's what I'm having to say all day today. Your weathermen in Texas won't say this, but I'm having to say air temperature is going to be about 97 with heat indices to 105 to 110. So,
and the thing about, so I live in Houston, which is fairly humid compared to where I used to live. Like when I was young, I lived up in Dallas-Fort Worth, which is pretty dry. And then I moved down here and it's like, it's a lot more humid and it feels a lot more hot. When it's humid, for people that don't live in a humid place, when you go outside when it's humid, like it may not even be that hot, but the sweat will just start, like I'm getting out of this body.
You just feel like
you'll just be pouring sweat everywhere.
You feel like you've got glue
slime.
All over you. Slime all over your, like,
you have to paddle through the air.
Yeah, that's true. It's so thick. You've got to. You can cut it.
Yeah,
you can cut.
You get used to it, but oh my goodness.
Well,
so it sounds like Kentucky's got way worse humidity than we got.
Let me tell you what the humidity has done, and I blame this on my environment where my particular body was born.
Yeah,
I have heat rash like you wouldn't believe. And I've had heat rash since I was like 13 years old. Every summer I have heat rash all over my chest and my back. It took me years to figure out how to cope with it. I just suffered with it for years until I figured out, and I got into adult, and I was like, this sucks. How do I cope with this?
A scratch and stick.
Got it under. Oh my God. I've got a scratch and stick. I paid $1 for it. If you ask any member of my family, they'll say that's the best dollar that Andy ever spent. Cause I say that all the time. I'm like, this is the best dollar I've spent. I have powders and there's all kinds of stuff. So it's hot. It's hot today.
Yeah, it's hot. So let's do songs. We got a little bit of sad music news after your songs. Let's do music. Huh?
We do have sad music news. Sorry, I'm eating bacon.
Yeah. Oh, bacon.
I was hungry this morning, and
about
free food for me.
3-4 months ago, I've been like, keto diet for a long time, but I don't know, 3-4 months ago, I went to the doctor and I did like annual checkup or whatever. And I had him do all my blood work and did everything. And I had like across the lines, it was like good. And I was like, and I knew my wife would be like, how are you? How is all your stuff so good? Good. Now, and it came out real good everywhere except cholesterol. And I was like, I know what that is. I eat bacon by the handfuls. So about like 3-4 months ago, I stopped eating bacon. Pick it out specifically. No, I go bacon sadness.
Ashley got me I've got a little cooker here at the radio station, little pan, little electric cooker,
hot plate,
little hot plate. Yeah. And she got me some bacon last night. She got me some of the microwave bacon. I like the microwave bacon. It's fine. It's fine. You always had to have it at the radio station because we only had a microwave, but now I have a hot plate and I'm here by myself. I can actually cook. So she got me some microwave bacon. I don't mind that, but I was noticing this morning as I got the microwave bacon out, look how thin that shit.
Yeah, it's like paper thin.
It didn't used to be this thin. It did not used to be this thin. I've been eating microwave bacon for a long time, and I just take the microwave bacon, I cook it in the skillet for it's been cooking back there for like 15 minutes this morning. It makes the radio station smell good too.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get to the
my favorite thing was always cooking bacon and then collecting all that grease and putting it into eggs. And so that it'd be bacon. I mean, I love it.
Or you take the bacon grease and you put some flour, you sprinkle some flour in it, and then you put you stir that up, put some salt and pepper, and then you put a little bit of milk in there and stir it up and make bacon grease breakfast gravy. Put that on some toast or some biscuits. Oh my!
That don't sound too bad. All right. Okay. Music.
All right, music. This week we're doing Nothing Else Matters by Metallica from Metallica's Blacklist, and today is an excellent version. This version is about 8 minutes long, and it's Chris Stapleton's version. I don't need to say anything about Chris Stapleton. He is an unbelievable songwriter and was for many decades before he finally sang. And, he sang, but before he finally got recognition. I think it's funny. Once he got recognition years ago, people were like, have you heard of this new guy, Chris Stapleton? And some of us people were like, he's been around for like 20 years. Why are you saying he's new? Just because you discovered him? Have you heard this new band, Red Hot Chili Peppers? No, that's not how it works. So Chris Stapleton does this cover of Nothing Else Matters, and it's in classic Chris Stapleton form, if you know how he sounds. If not, he's a traditional country music artist. He's got a really awesome voice, and he is an unbelievable songwriter. If you want to check out some of his other stuff, he's wrote a lot of songs for a lot of different people. But they're charitable. Go ahead.
This might be my favorite version that you played this week.
Yeah, I think it's mine. I think it's mine. The Elton John version, Miley Cyrus version that we'll play tomorrow is a great version, but this one is probably my favorite. I just like Chris Stapleton can pick up the phone book and be like, JJW861. I would listen to him read the phone book, sing the phone book.
I want to hear tomorrow's. Is it gonna sound like sparkles and glitter?
No. It's very solemn and somber. It's very pretty too. It's got Elton John piano at the beginning, and I like Miley Cyrus's voice. Some people don't like her voice. It's kind of raspy.
Yeah, she's got a little bit of she's got a 40-year smoker voice in a 30-year body.
She does. I love Miley Cyrus, so I don't care. She's just hot to me. She always will. Yeah. And I just love her voice. I like her little raspy voice.
Okay. Let's see. Are you going to take that thing off the screen?
Yeah. I'm trying to fix it.
If we both touch the controls, it's no bueno.
I know, that's true.
Hey, I got a little note yesterday. At the end of the show yesterday, somebody commented in chat. They asked like, oh, should we go to Kick to do chat or whatever? There's not a lot of chat. No, don't go to Kick. If you're going to chat with us, go to Rumble. Go to Rumble and chat with us on Rumble. We'll watch on Rumble.
Yeah, I've got I try to bring up Rumble usually after the song of the day. I like to scroll over to Rumble and see if we're on the front page, and then which we are not today.
We'll get there. Okay, so we got a little sad music news. Yesterday, it broke that Sinead O'Connor at 56 has passed away.
Yeah.
Everybody and people probably, I never listened to Sinead O'Connor all that much, but she was a bigger voice when I was a teenager. And I remember her Saturday Night Live appearance.
Well, Ashley and I talked about that yesterday as we was making supper, and I was like, I was too young and immature and ignorant at the time to really understand her protest with the ripping up of the picture of the Pope and what she stood for, what she was trying to say with that. Right. I was too young and immature to kind of understand what she was standing, what that was about. All I understood was Sinead O'Connor bad. Media told me bad. News tells me that's bad. Yeah. And that's all I heard. So that's all I thought was Sinead O'Connor bad, because that's all I was fed. That's all I was told. And so after I grew up, and I'm like, oh yeah, Sinead O'Connor, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And found out, what she actually stood for. I think Sinead was a very troubled person to begin with. And just like there's so many of them out there today. And her son just committed suicide like 6 months ago or something. And
in January 2022. Yeah.
She's got several kids. She's got 2 or 3 kids, I thought. But her son, her youngest, committed suicide, and she had tweeted a couple of days ago. There was a tweet that said, "Tell us your emotions in emojis," or something like that. And her last tweet was a bunch of those crying emojis. It was just a bunch of crying emojis, and it said, "I lost my son on this date," or something like that. Whatever. And she was thinking about her son, and she was like, we were one soul and 2 bodies, and I am lost in the whatever Black Bardo. Without him. And so they're not saying how she died, but it doesn't take a rocket surgeon to figure out what.
Right. The implication is that she step out.
Yeah.
On her own.
Yeah. So, I mean, it sucks. I mean, Sinead O'Connor, she was an artist. She wasn't a big, huge. I mean, she ripped up a picture of the Pope. She made a statement back then. She didn't write Nothing Compares to You. That was Prince wrote that freaking song. That's
right.
A Prince song. You listen to it now, and if you didn't know that, you listen to it now, and you'd be like, "Oh my God, that is a Prince song." And it sounds like his song.
Would I be mistaken in saying that event where she ripped the Pope was the biggest like cultural kind of
probably
like in moment that she had? And like way back, I mean, it was literally she was on SNL. And she was on SNL, and she had a picture of the Pope. She ripped it in half, and that made like tidal waves everywhere.
Yeah,
and literally, if you did that today, like nobody would even notice.
Nobody would give a crap. They would probably
we had
you and give
Nancy Pelosi on TV during the State of Union address and took Trump's speech and tore that in half. Yeah. So like it's amazing how far we come, and it's not really good.
Yeah, it was a different time in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, whenever that was.
Yeah.
So all right, I mean, whatever. Yeah. Sinead O'Connor. Yeah. I didn't listen to her music, but I'm sorry that she died.
Yeah.
But people die every second.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And if you're here, guys, don't check out on your own. Don't do that. No, stay or hang out.
If you have some mental problems,
your emotions, part of it's chemical. Part of your emotions and how your brain works or whatever is like chemical. And if you're feeling like deep down lows or whatever, like you need some time to just normalize, don't take actions when you're at the extremes.
I'll say, I've been I'm not a happy person all the time. And, and I haven't been my entire life. That's all I'll say. So if anybody is feeling down and they feel like they have 0 person to talk to, I'm here. I have been very, very low to the lowest. I've been there. Wherever you're at, I promise you, I've probably been there. And if you want to talk, I'll gladly talk to you. Just text me or DM me or find me on Twitter or find me on the Discord. Go to the Discord and find me on Discord. Yeah, I'm geek on the Discord. Or you can find me. I'm all over the place. Yeah. So just message me. And we won't share it at all. It can be completely private and whatever you want. I'll help whoever.
the thing about the lows is that you get dragged in the lows and you don't always know that's what's happening.
Yeah,
You just feel like the world is just like heavy and dark and whatever. It's so important for you to recognize those moments when you're different and when you're perceiving reality different and like you feel blue or dark or whatever, to recognize that like it might not be that the reality is awful. It might just be like
your perception of the reality is awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have
It's
been
so important,
actually
right?
trying to do that with myself. And Ashley's been helping me because I'm a self-deprecating person,
Yeah. Right.
and I have been for a long time. And
Yeah.
so I don't it's hard for me to appreciate anything about myself. And
Right.
so when I start ragging on myself or saying something out loud like it's normal, about how stupid I am or how worthless or lazy or whatever
Yeah.
it's at the time. I'm trying to stop myself in my brain. Like you just said, I'm trying to stop myself and realize this is not true. I have people
Right.
that love me. People are doing, if whatever it is at the time, if I'm feeling down and low, I have these cats are here. The dog loves me. These people rely on. I try to put instead of looking at it from the blinders point of view, I'm trying to, and Ashley's been really trying to help me because I'll try to verbalize it. I'll be like, I'm not having a very good brain day today, and I'm feeling a little low. And so when I tell her that, she knows that, okay, I need to put on my kid gloves with Andy today, just for a little bit. And that's all that I ask. I'm not, don't treat me like a baby, but just give me a little extra 5 inches of rope on those.
The way that our brains kind of like record memories, is like and it's a little bit related. Like something happens and like you receive all of this input, the world around you, something you read, something you hear, whatever, and your brain writes these little proteins and that stores the information. And then when you remember it, you go through it again, you tell that story to yourself again, it writes it in place and it encodes it, makes it kind of more permanent. Well, when you go through these low times and you telling these self-deprecating jokes and you don't offset it, I'm joking, I'm a terrible person, I'm just joking around. You're writing a record in there, and your brain doesn't know the difference between fake data and real data.
You ain't telling me nothing I don't already know.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Okay, so like you got to offset it. Is what I'm saying. You have to. You literally have to offset it because you're writing a little record in your brain that your brain is going to be like, I am a shitty person.
Like I've said this to a guy years ago, and he called me something. I don't even remember what he called me, the name he called me, and I was like, "Is that the best you can do, dude? I do better than that in the mirror at home.
Try hard. Try.
Come on.
You have to bring some heat.
You're gonna have to. I'm my worst enemy, and that was amateurish. Come on.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Let's start our show. Today's title, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, come on. Title button. Where's it at? Is it there? Oh, here we go. Panic mode. Hunter's sweetheart plea deal is up in smoke.
I know I don't have the most perfect teeth in the world, but I'm glad I hate my teeth.
You don't want to have any
but dentures? I sure don't want to look like that.
You don't want to look like they're...
See, I know I got a couple of baby teeth that...
Hey, Brian's back. Hey, Brian. Brian's been doing swim meet for a while, so he ain't been here.
If you
hey, we got no TV, no OTV. Day, everyone. Be very happy. Like if you like and comment on the last video on my channel. Oh, sure. Okay, gonna get right on that, homie.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that now, Holmes.
Yeah, let me hold on just a second. Let me do this one other thing first. Okay, so Hunter Biden's plea deal up in smoke. Where is our...
Oh, he's a video game player. Okay.
Is he? Cool.
Oh, he's
Judge rejects deal in Hunter Biden case as the first son pleads guilty. He was expected to plead. He pleads not guilty. Hunter Biden was expected to walk into the courtroom yesterday, accept the plea deal, and then plead guilty because he had this deal that he would not be prosecuted for taxes and guns and anything in the future. And then the judge was like looking it over, and she's like, "Hold up, I got a question." And then everything went up in smoke. Hunter Biden's plea deal with the Department of Justice on 2 misdemeanor tax charges fell apart Wednesday after the federal judge overseeing the case said she had some concerns about the constitutionality of a pretrial division agreement that would allow him to avoid prison on felony firearms possession charge. Judge Norika did not accept the plea deal that Hunter Biden so Hunter pleaded not guilty at the end of the hearing. She asked both sides to file briefs explaining the legal structure of the plea deal. Additionally, prosecutors acknowledged in the Delaware federal court that Biden is still the subject of an ongoing investigation. So apparently the judge was like reading through this thing, and she was like, hey, just to be clear, if you accept this plea deal, does that mean that you can or the prosecution can charge you in another case? And the prosecution could not lie to the judge. So the prosecution was like, well, yeah, even if he accepts this plea deal, we can charge him with these other stuff. And Hunter Biden's legal team was like, whoa, that's not what we were saying, yo. So deal's off. Hunter pleads not guilty, which means that this case will go to court, which means that sometime in the next year or so, we are going to have the big, spectacular court case news of Hunter Biden versus whatever.
So. I bet you're right. I bet it's going to be all over the news. And
oh, my God. So like Biden, I'm sure that Biden campaign is like, oh my God, I hope this shit doesn't catch on fire. So, no TV. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe on our video. And right after that, that's how we're going to track you down and find your video.
Yep.
So just hit like and subscribe.
And we'll go to your place.
David's already got a deal in there for us there. Thanks, David. David's helping us out. All right. Let's see. Hey, one more Hunter Biden thing, Deke. You know, Stack, ever since before the Biden campaign even started, there was all of this kind of like talk about China, Ukraine, Hunter, Joe Biden. How much involvement do you have in your son's business dealings? And Joe would have said, on the record, on tape, he said, I've never spoken to my son about his business dealings.
Mm-hmm. Never been in business with his son.
Never spoken to him about his business dealings. Well, now the story's changed a little bit. The language has changed.
Oh, wow. They never do that, JJ.
Oh, yeah. So here, hold on. Okay, Twitter. You have to wait for me to tell you to start the video, Twitter. That's the way this works. You're not in charge. Here's KJP.
She's so calm.
She's the most honest woman behind the press secretary podium right now.
She's very zen-like nowadays. If you haven't been watching it, she's kept cool several times.
I think she's just drinking a lot. And she's just up there like, I gotta go live for this son of a bitch.
All right, let's go.
Might be her bag at Coke. Here.
Thank you. Moments ago, you said that nothing has changed when you were asked about the president's previous remarks on his son's business dealings, but the language has in fact changed. So I just want to clear this up once and for all. The president has previously said that he has never discussed overseas business dealings.
Never discussed.
But the White House now says that the president has never been in business with his son. So why the updated language? Which statement is true? Or is this semantics and they're both true?
As I stated on Monday, when I was asked this question multiple times, nothing has changed.
Well stop it.
Nothing has changed.
She's not going to say anything worth a fuck. I can tell you what she's going to say. Nothing has changed. It's all the same. We just changed the words, and I'm just
saying now what I've always been saying. But you're not saying what you've always been saying. You used to be saying he's never had discussions, and now you're saying he's never been in business, which is not the same thing.
Two completely different fucking forces.
Yeah. Well, nothing has changed. You mean nothing has changed, and he's still a corrupt son of a bitch.
Yeah, that nothing has changed. You're talking about a different subject.
All right.
Listen to your ass lying through you.
All right, Deacon. Some other stuff happened yesterday. We had a big hearing on UFOs. The House, I think it was Oversight Committee. Yeah, House Oversight Committee had a UAP hearing yesterday, and we had 2 former military pilots and a guy that worked for the intelligence community, UATAP or something like that. David Grosh. So these three people testified before the House Oversight Committee, and oh man, we learned so much information. We're gonna talk about that as we. I wish I had done a title. I need a spooky UFO title card or something.
That's what I thought you was going to do with the UFO title
man,
card.
I really need that. So let's go. Let's start. Here we go. Let's do UFO news.
You want me to read it?
It takes a long time to start this ship up. Once it gets going, it goes pretty good. All right. During Wednesday's meeting with on an unidentified anomalous phenomena, that is not even fun to say. Why don't you guys just say UFOs? A former Air Force intelligence officer
it's
said
not a UFO, though.
Yeah, right. I know, but it's not fun to say UAP.
But
it's not fun.
It's not correct anymore.
Okay.
It's not correct. They can go underwater and maneuver underwater.
Yeah, but the only ones they talked about were the ones that were flying. Former Air Force intelligence officer said the United States government has recovered both UFO vehicles and biologics. He used this word biologics. Have you ever used the word biologics? Not biological. Biologics. Strange phrasing.
I mean, it makes sense.
I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean, in that, I will say, I watched this entire hearing. I'll give you my impression in a second. We'll talk about our impressions here in a second. So this intelligence officer is saying that the United States government has recovered both vehicles, multiple vehicles, and
non-human
and not, biologics of the entities flying them. Representative Jim Nancy Mace asked David Grush if the pilots were of the unknown crashed aircraft were recovered along with the vehicles. And quote, David said, "Biologics came with some of these recoveries." Yeah. Grush responded, adding that they were non-human per the assessment of the people with direct knowledge of and involvement in the program overseeing the recovery efforts.
So what if he's using this terminology because it's not humanoid form? What if it is biologics? And I'm just throwing this out here.
Yeah.
What if it's like the freaking spaceship in Farscape? What if it's like using Vogue in Star Wars?
You've got the thing with spider arms.
It's a living. It's something else inside of it. It's biologics. It doesn't have any kind of arm or leg type appenditures or anything.
Right. Okay.
But it's something that's like it's It's like, is this a computer or is this a living creature? It's both. It's a computer and a living. What if it's? I'm just throwing this out.
Yeah.
Sci-fi mind. What if that's the reason they're wording it biologic is because it doesn't have a human form? And if I was to come to the public and say, "Yeah, we found this alien and it fucking looks like a blob," people would be flipping the fuck out.
So I kind of think we think like, oh, UFO, it's piloted by aliens. So you got a little alien with a giant head and eyes or whatever.
Exactly.
And you're like driving it around. But biologics could be like, it could be like a brain in a box. It could just be like a tube with a brain in it.
Just like when I say the word angel, you automatically think of a little white person with wings.
Gabriel and with the sword.
That's not anything what they look like.
No. If you read the description of angels in the Bible, in some of the Old Testament stuff, you'd be like, I don't want to see that.
If you'll notice that every time they mention an angel comes to the Bible to talk to somebody, what's the first thing they say?
Somebody died.
No. Think about it. So look this up.
Don't be afraid.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Don't be afraid.
Although some people just fell over dead.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right. So anyway, this was really interesting. The non-human biologics. And did you see where they had he said that U.S. government and contractors have intimidated, hurt, and potentially murdered would-be whistleblowers in the past?
Yeah. In fact, he was directly questioned like, has anybody even heard about that? Now, so many times during this hearing, when David was answering questions, he would say something like, I know the answer to that, but I can't tell you in the open. So if we had a closed session, I could give you this information. It happened so many times that I started being like, so he didn't.
Yeah,
okay, so
I kind of wonder why he's saying that. I don't want to know what's in the closed session. I want to know why you're saying that.
So
that was the one thing that I was like, why? I need feasible reasons.
Okay, so I'm going to give you an excuse, and here's the excuse. So David worked for the intelligence agency, and then he reported this, and we did the flow chart a couple days ago. He reported this to the DOD Inspector General, and then basically there were reprisals, right? And he kind of lost his job or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he reported it to the IGC, whatever it is. Right. And so he's currently got a lawsuit going. I think a lawsuit or an investigation for reprisals.
That very well could be.
And because there's an investigation happening, he can't say too much or compromise the investigation.
But if it was a closed congressional oversight hearing,
right? Yeah,
he could tell them that, and that would supersede the judicial law.
Yeah. And now, so if we, I kind of figured this, nothing big was going to come out of this whole hearing. The point of this hearing,
all these little bitty things, I think, add up to something big.
So the point of this hearing was not to reveal information to the public. Unfortunately, it was to give people in Congress the legislative motive. That is that, like, oh, we have somebody on testimony that said this. So now they have the legislative motive or the legislative reasoning to start making some other laws or making other demands from hearings. And they can call these other people in for hearings and say, well, we have other witnesses that have said this stuff. So is this true? Corroborate this evidence. So unfortunately, this is just like the start. And like, we don't get any fun information out of this.
In order to get what you want, in order to win the game, you're going to have to sacrifice almost every pawn, your knights, your rooks. You're going to have to sacrifice pieces that you don't want to sacrifice, but you have to move them very strategically. And in order to win the game, JJ, you have to move the pawn right up here and let him get eaten first. So This is what they're doing. They're moving the pawn. They're letting the pawn get eaten so that they can move the knight into the pawn's position. And take the piece. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're what you said. They're just, I'm having to move this piece in order to do this because I've got 14 other things that rely on this congressional hearing to get this piece of what they said on the record books. So
we'll do this whistleblower hearing so that next we can do some other hearings to get some other information.
Yeah.
Now, okay. Let's see if there's this other. Okay, so one of the things that David was kind of the points he was making during the testimony is that, he's a whistleblower because what he's doing is blowing the whistle on this secret government crash recovery program, recovery and backwards engineering. And this was basically probably a DOD black box kind of operation. And he blew the whistle on a black box operation to recover equipment and whatever and reverse engineer it. So he's had reprisals and got in trouble, lost his job. Well, one of the things that he's saying is not only there need to be whistleblower protections, but there is not an adequate reporting system for UFOs. Okay, so he alleges that commercial pilots and military pilots far more frequently than we all believe encounter these UFOs, but because there is not a reporting system that's adequate, and because there is a risk to your career for reporting these things, we only get reports from about 5% of the sightings. Now, first of all, these are the things he's saying. I'm not saying that that's true. These are what he's saying. He was flanked on either side by former pilots that had experiences or testified to their own experiences of flying jets, looking out the window and being like, there's a ball with a cube floating in it and flying around and doing crazy stuff. So he had two pilots there that were testifying. One of them was from the Tic Tac video. If you guys have seen the Tic Tac video of the little thing zooming across the screen and the camera tracking it. So he had that pilot there. He had another pilot. So he had some pilots there that were talking firsthand experience, but all of David's experience, all of David's testimony was secondhand. He had read reports and talked to people and was just reporting information. So nothing that David said specifically was, I've seen aliens, I've seen bodies that I can recall.
I think we need to mention this. I mean, we need to point out that these 3 veterans are former U.S. Navy fighter pilot,
Right.
retired U.S. Navy commander, and former Air Force intelligence officer. These aren't just like some schmo, Johnny Jenkins that lives out there in Ledbetter. And that's not him. These are respected people, you know, with respectable positions. And so that's why I admire these guys for coming out and being like, hey, man, we've seen some weird shit in our time. All right. This is what we do for a living. And I've seen some really weird shit that I can't explain. And then these other guys are like, yeah, I'm glad you finally said it because I have too. Because there are, like you just said, there are multitudes of other guys that are like, I've seen some really weird shit too, but there ain't no way in fucking hell that I'm saying
no.
Because I like
you trying to get
I'm not
fired or not promoted or
I'm up for promotion and my wife just got pregnant.
Exactly.
There is no way I'm fixing to say anything.
I got a house payment I have to make right now. I've got this mortgage. I live on the Eastern Seaboard and my house costs $800,000 for some reason.
for 800 square feet for a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. 1,000 square.
Yeah. So so you know, some of those things are okay. So I will say this. Of the character, I watched the hearings of the character that was presented of the people. I told you yesterday I was going to just smell for bullshit to the other line. Both the pilots, genuinely, I believe that they had some sort of experience that they're testifying to, and they seemed honest and credible to me. Now, was it drones or spaceships? I don't know. I don't know that they know either. But you know, they were testifying, in my opinion, honestly. David was also being honest, I believe, but I believe he was being honest in a more legalistic sense, as though he might believe some of the stuff he's saying, but I believe he was putting on a performance. That was my impression. So
can I read some of these others? I don't want to read all these. I want to
read we got a hit list of things that were taken away.
Yeah. U.S. government contractors have intimidated, hurt, and potentially murdered would-be whistleblowers. Individuals in charge of classification, access to information are career senior executive officials in both military, DOD, and defense contractors and unelected officials. Satellite imagery of crashes, tests, and retrievals exists. U.S. government contractors could have advanced tech advanced tech that have been made from reverse engineering efforts. Grouch and his wife were intimidated in a disturbing way. Grouch knows people who have seen non-human biologics. Grouch has seen photos and documents. Gates saw an image and radar data of an Orb UAP. He's willing to subpoena an image and radar data of Orb UAP from Elgin Air Force Base. Grouch saw footage of shoot down and said the craft was otherworldly. Its potential for this to also be interdimensional. Mention of holographic principle. People have been hurt working on the program.
I believe that. I believe people have been hurt on the program.
According to Grouch, statements made by Dr. Kirkpatrick of AARO that there is no evidence of extraterrestrial visitation or objects defying known science are inaccurate. Grouch was under oath. Kirkpatrick was not. When asked about communications with NHI, Grouch said he can only talk about this in a classified setting.
There was a whole lot of that comment. Congress people would ask him questions, have this, that, or whatever. Like, I can tell you, but not in this context. I can tell you, but not in this context. So there was so much of that it got to be like a pretty aggravating.
Graves knows a military witness who claims Boeing allegedly engaged in incident involving a 100-yard-long red square UAP over Vandenberg Air Force Base and has documentation. Grouch cannot confirm or deny Department of Energy involvement in UAP housing. All 3 witnesses agree that it is possible that UAP could be probing our capabilities and nuclear assets, testing for vulnerabilities in our system, and cannot be defended against. People will get fired or have pay cut if they don't get access to a skiff for the next hearing. Holman rule will be enacted.
Yeah.
So that was just some takeaways that were listed by people that watched this. Some key takeaways that they thought that you needed to keep from this or to remember from this.
So I want to see more hearings, right? I'm not sold on anything, but I absolutely want Congress people asking questions to government, and I want the government to answer those questions. The executive, you get some people in the military, DOD, all of that. So
what if they were like, okay, for real, we've got the movie with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones? That's for real.
Oh yeah.
That's for real. That's real.
Independence Day.
We've got that. No, Men in Black.
Oh,
Tommy Lee Jones.
Thinking the other one.
No.
Oh.
No.
Tommy Lee Jones wasn't in.
There's really Men in Black, and there's really all these aliens on the world, and they're disguised, and they're right under your eyes, and yeah, this is real. All right, sorry you didn't get my joke. I've got another weird story here for you. Have you ever heard of Bohemian Grove? Do you know what Bohemian? You laugh, so I'm guessing you do.
Yeah, what's up with the Bohemian Grove? What is that?
So
is that a band?
Supposedly, Kevin McCarthy has been to the latest Bohemian Grove. Yeah, it's Bohemian Grove is a concert that they have in this area, and it's only invited to specific people. And at the concert, they like kill children and they worship.
That doesn't sound good.
Worship Morlock and stuff like that. No, seriously, Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy reportedly attended the Bohemian Grove in California this year. Wealthy and powerful politicians, tycoons, and media propagandists attend the secretive Bohemian Grove estate run by the Bohemian Club. The Grove has long been accused of occult practices and has even been accused of hosting child sex slavery and child snuff porn.
Oh, my God.
Paul Bonacci, who said that he witnessed child snuff porn at Bohemian Grove during his time as a child trafficking victim, won $1 million in judgment in court from the politically connected alleged ringleader of the Franklin cover-up. Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, is a high-ranking figure at Bohemian Grove. Alex Jones famously infiltrated the Grove and found the globalist elites performing a cremation of care burning effigy ceremony, apparently to worship Moloch. This is the Bohemian Grove stuff is pretty.
Oh,
it's out there. It's disturbing. Okay. It's out there, but to me, it's not.
So
not the. I believe
you're reporting this story from National File, which
I don't know.
I would not. Yeah. I don't know that this is necessarily a highly credible organization. However,
credible they are to CNN, to Fox,
I don't know.
NBC News. I mean, who are we comparing to? Because if we're comparing to those, are we really? I mean, is
they
that
are.
Credible?
National File is
credibility
citing Politico.
I don't know who National File is. I don't know who Politico is, but they've got the balls enough to say that Kevin McCarthy's gone to Bohemian Grove. So maybe he did, because most people are not going to say shit like that, because the people that supposedly belong to Bohemian Grove can fucking make you disappear and make your job disappear and your family disappear.
Oh yeah.
So
supposedly these are bad guys in a bad place. Alex Jones, like years and years and years ago, infiltrated the thing, and he's the one that kind of like broke this.
Yeah, and we know that Alex Jones is doing real well in society today, isn't he?
Yeah,
everybody just loves him, and he's just loved by everyone.
All right, Kev, surprise! The Speaker of the House is going to go worship that owl devil or whatever the fuck it is. What is the thing? What is the demon they're all worshiping with? Moloch? Whatever. I think somebody didn't pay their rent to Moloch, Deke. Yesterday.
Moloch is, in Hebrew Bible, Moloch is presented as a foreign deity who was at times illegitimately given a palace in Israel's worship as a result of blah, 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 blah.
Well.
He was another god, Moloch.
Hang on. I got somebody's check bounced from Moloch. I don't know if you know about this. I think you don't know about this. Here's the
Canaanite god.
This is Senate Leader Mitch McConnell yesterday at a press conference. Somebody, I don't know, switched him off or something.
This is what happens when the AI goes. It's having to reboot.
He's just standing there, and people around him are like, "Bro, are you alive?"
The guy that actually walked up to him there and grabbed him is the third Republican in line for whatever, the third. And he is a former orthopedic surgeon or orthodontist or something. He's got medical training, more than anybody else. He's a former doctor. So they took Mitch McConnell back to his office, and then Mitch ended up coming back some moments later and finishing the press conference.
Okay.
Well, he wasn't completely incapacitated. What happened was he was in the middle of saying something and he paused. And he paused for about 20 seconds there. It was a very uncomfortable thing to where the guys behind you saw what happened. So, I mean, remember he fell. He had the little episode where he had a concussion and he fell earlier in the year. But he's 81 years old.
Oh, he's 81.
The man, and he's from Kentucky. He's screwed over the country a million times. He's helped our area some. These fucking people are too old, man. These people are too old. Mitch McConnell doesn't need to be. I mean, God Almighty. I don't wish ill will on anybody, but he needs to be gone. I do wish ill will on Joe Biden, but I know I'm evil. St. Peter's going to make me wait. I don't care.
All right. Let's see. We got anything? Oh yeah, we got one more. We got one more story. It's not political, I don't think. We got a few minutes left. It's entertainment, I guess. Entertainment and law. Deke, a few years ago, in fact, yesterday. Yeah, wasn't it yesterday? We talked about Unusual Suspects and we talked about Kevin Spacey, or was it not Unusual Suspects? Something else.
Yeah,
we talked about Kevin Spacey.
The Usual Suspects. I mentioned something this week.
Yeah. And you mentioned Kevin Spacey, and I was like, "Oh, don't know if we're allowed to watch the Kevin Spacey movies anymore." Well, we can. We can watch Kevin Spacey movies again now.
Just because a jury said that him groping all those boys was okay, that he didn't do it. Even are we not supposed to believe the guys?
He didn't do it.
We're supposed to believe the girls, but we're not supposed to believe the guys.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's the rule. Believe all women. Nobody ever said believe all men.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
In fact, I will tell you, every man's lying too. I mean, women are also, but whatever. The rule is supposed to believe all women. So, actor Kevin Spacey was acquitted. I love you, wife. I know. Actor Kevin Spacey was acquitted of all 9 sexual offenses in the UK trial. Spacey was found not guilty on all counts. And Spacey started crying in court as the not guilty verdicts were read out loud. Now, I will say this. I don't know if he did it or didn't do it or whatever, but the dude got Me Too'd and it destroyed his career. He got replaced in a film he was in. He got fired or canceled from that Netflix show he was on. I think he ended up like maybe having to pay them money or something because he was a producer on it. So,
do you feel bad because it destroyed his career? Do you feel bad for the rich guy that probably did it?
I mean,
bad for him. I mean, did you feel
probably did it based on what? Like, I don't know anything about this. I don't have a probably. I only have like some guys accused him, and then he said
just
he didn't
from my gut feeling. I trust my gut feeling about a lot of things in life, and it's been pretty right on pretty much everything.
I'm not saying I think Kevin Spacey's a good guy. I just don't know if the thing that they torpedoed his career for was true.
I'm not asking that. I'm saying, do you feel sorry for the rich son of a bitch?
Not especially. Okay. Not especially. Although
that's the question.
To be defamed for something that didn't happen, that would be awful. Like so.
That would suck.
And molestation is very hard to prove. So I'm sure he got off. He could have still done it.
She's exactly right. She's exactly right.
I am not saying.
Right. She's exactly right. She's exactly right.
So
he's a really rich and powerful person. You don't think that he could have got off from some goddamn little teen fucking waiter that's trying to make an actor waiter?
I will say this. After the charges were brought out and he did this weird video, I was like, Kevin Spacey, gross.
Kevin Spacey's always been gross. If you go back and watch those movies now that you love, Seven and Usual Suspects and all those other ones, and watch those, he's just kind of like.
So
I don't believe him. I personally don't believe Kevin Spacey. I think that he probably did do all this stuff, and I think I feel sorry for these other people. I feel sorry for these other people because I think they got screwed more ways than one in this whole situation.
I mean, I'm willing to believe that. I'm willing to believe that. I just don't know.
Completely the wrongest person on earth, but I'm just telling you that's what my gut feeling tells me.
So Kevin Spacey, 64, faced 7 sexual assault charges, 1 count of causing a person to engage in sexual activity without consent, and 1 count of causing a person to engage in sexual activity. The charges were related to encounters that took place between 2001 and 2013. The jury deliberated for 12 hours across 3 days, and Spacey started crying as in the court as the not guilty verdicts were read.
Wow,
the defense had
a trained actor started crying in the court. Wow, I can't do that.
The defense had argued that 3 of the 4 accusers lied in their allegations against Spacey and suggested that the 4th accuser was intoxicated.
You don't think that maybe Kevin Spacey's multi-million-dollar paid lawyers could find out some way to defame to make this 20-something-year-old waiter look bad and make him lie about one little bitty white lie and completely destroy his character because he said that it was a Sprite when it was actually a fucking 7-Up?
Right.
You know, you see what I'm saying?
That's a good point. Could have been, not willful misrepresentation of the truth. Well, I don't know what to say about it. I will say this. There's no way that we can be assured that justice happens one way or the other. We don't know. We can't know. It definitely sounds like there was some sort of involvement between Kevin Spacey and some of these guys. The disagreement as to whether it was consensual or not. It's not good. Even I just don't know what to think about this. Okay.
Okie dokie.
Okay. All right.
You better tell your wife that you agree with her.
I'm gonna have to.
This is a piece of crap.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey is an awful person.
Yeah, and I believe my wife. She's a genius.
All right. All right. What do we get? We got anything else? We got an AI news story. Yeah, you want to talk AI news?
Yeah, this one's. I come across this. So
hold on, BD. Hold on, BD. Beep. We got AI news.
Do you have something special for AI? Oh, there you go. Look at that.
We got AI news now.
That's great. All right.
You know, I spent like 300 of my credits at OpenAI trying to get it. I was like, have the Terminator hold a cup of coffee. And the stuff that I saw was like, have you ever seen the Terminator? What are you doing? It took so long to get it to get even close to the Terminator.
That's great, though. It
AI
looks
news.
Really freaking good. So, Poland. Oh crap! My radio's imploding over here. Poland's first AI radio host has taken over weekend middays. The host's name is Beja.
Oh my god,
Beja. The country's first AI-generated radio host has taken over an hour of middays every Saturday through September 2nd on the station, which published an image of how she supposedly looks and a promo, including her voice. Do we want to...
Can you play it?
Yeah, I'm going to try to see if I can...
Is there audio?
Hang on. This is what she supposedly looks like.
We just talked yesterday about... AI simps, trolls, simp bait or whatever.
So let's see what she sounds like.
She don't look good at all.
Pierwsza w Polsce prezenterka radiowa AI.
Jestem Basia.
To będzie jedyny w Polsce taki program radiowy. Słuchaj w te i kolejne soboty od 12 na 88,7 FM oraz radiopiekary.pl.
Fascynujące, prawda?
Unless wrong button. Unless that was her at the end, that was just a voice.
Yeah, it was like a teaser. That was like a real guy doing a
maybe this is
20-second teaser.
Our midday host Ashley has become AI Ashley. We can't wait for you to meet Ashley, our world's first. Okay, so this is another one, I guess. Oh no, that's not. So I don't know. I'm trying to. I thought that it would be here, but it's not.
Oh, I see what Ashley's doing. Ashley's taken her own voice, sampled it, and then made it into one of those 11 Labs voices. Yeah.
See, that's what. So anyway, the AI is only doing 1 hour, and it's got a human there to if it's asked questions. Beja asked listeners on her debut show, "Did you know that our brain is truly remarkable? It has infinite possibilities. Although I, as artificial intelligence, could only learn about it from your experiences." So I don't know if she's a talk show host or whatnot, but I thought, as I was reading this article, I thought, man, that is a brilliant idea to have her as a talk show host, to have a section of show be like, this AI is going to answer all of your questions. So you call in with your questions and we will have her answer them. And I'll as a radio morning show host, that could be a bit. Morning show.
Sorry. I kind of assumed that she would be just like introducing music or whatever.
That's what I thought. That's what I would think. I talked to our bosses about, using the 11 Labs as a utility for our station, not as a complete host, but the reason I didn't want it to use it as a complete host was because as soon as I let my bosses know that this is a possibility, I could lose my job. So I don't want to let them know that this is possible, because it's not, you lose the human aspect like we've talked in this before. But it could be used as a very nice radio utility. And like this, an hour every day, it wouldn't be that bad. And if you just had it introducing music, it wouldn't be that bad. And reading liner cards, we call them liner cards, and that's what we say, in between the music and the commercials, come out to the fair or go out and see whatever. I've always thought that AI in the radio aspect would be detrimental to our business, because internet has been very detrimental to our business. So I don't know. There's your AI news for the day. I don't know what happened to JJ. I don't think we have. I don't know if we have any other. We've got a couple of stories here, but I didn't post them, and I don't know. Oh, there's JJ.
I think we're out of story. Hey, my wife had to get out of the garage and couldn't get out of the garage for some reason.
Oh, you're good.
I don't know. No, I'm not, because apparently it's my fault.
Well, you're not good.
I'm not good. All right, so that's all the stories we got for today, and we're about out of time. So if you guys haven't already, please hit like, subscribe. Thanks for watching the show. Deke, hey, sweetie, I got a joke for you. Come here.
Oh no, I don't have kids' jokes.
Oh, that's okay.
All right, don't give her a thing.
Here we go. Lily, what do you call a man with a nose but no body? What do you call a man with a nose but no body?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Okay. Hey, what do you call a fish with no eyes?
A seesaw.
No, you call it a fish. Because it has no eyes. So yeah, you can't spell.
You see how funny your jokes are, JJ? I think you should learn.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
She don't have a thing in her ear, does she?
No.
Okay. All right. Good. Here's to nipples. Without them, breasts would be pointless. And I got one more. I just got one.
because
This one's not really a dad joke. You got to hand it to short people because they can't reach it on their own.
Oh, come on. It's fine. You guys are overreacting. All right. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.